You're watching Kura 2022 on K24, and thank you for your time with the former leader of the majority party in the National Assembly and Garissa Township MP, Honorable Aden Duale. Thank you for your time. Let's finish up with this matter before we go to the Political Parties Amendment Bill and the preparation of the election by the IEBC. The bottoms-up economy, your critics questioned as to its practicability. You mentioned about expansion of the tax base, the investing of 100 billion Kenya shillings to improve local businesses at the bottom of the economy. But when you cite, for example, economy like the United States of America, Build Back Better by Joe Biden, however, despite having a plan to spend about 2.3 trillion US dollars, only managed a paltry 1 trillion in massive expansion of infrastructure, social policy, climate change, the green policy, all opposed by senators from his own Democratic Party. And you perhaps copying or rather likening your model to that of a president who is the least popular of all US presidents in history, excluding Donald Trump. Why?
No, I think what you have quoted in terms of that infrastructure bill in the US Congress, which was opposed by even some of the members of the Democratic, is totally different from the what we share with President Biden. President Biden, for the first time, he said, we must deal with the middle class as an economic policy. We must deal with their taxation. We must deal with how to bring up the middle class in the US. Because there was a lot of focus on the top corporates in terms of even tax rebates. So that's where we share. And the middle class in the US is similar. In terms of the budgets, we're two different countries. I mean, these are huge global budget. But ours is, how do we help? How do we refocus our economy to the millions of Kenyans who hustle from 4 a.m. in the morning and they sleep maybe at 11 p.m. when the focus was on corporates.
Taxing the rich.
Yeah, corporates who go to work at 10 a.m. in the morning and 3 o'clock they go play golf. So you have to make an economic sound decision. If you want to create jobs, if you want to alleviate poverty, if you want to create wealth, if you want to create a serious middle class, if you want to increase the tax bracket, then you must, and you have no choice, you must deal with the bottom, the businesses which are small businesses which are at the bottom of the pyramid. And I think for our competitors, they should not focus on our model. They should have their own model. And the model they brought is where they want to give handouts to the young people of this country, 6,000 shillings a month.
That is an income they say will help households.
No, they say that for the first time, they are copying what happens in the Western economies.
Most European countries.
Yes, what is it's called the social security.
Social welfare states.
Now, let me give you an example. The least earned hustler at the construction site, a day he earns about 500 shillings.
15,000 a month?
So he gets 15,000 a month. So you're telling that hustler at the construction site, forget about the 15,000, we'll give you a handout of 6,000. That does not make any economic sense. So I think they should focus more on their model as we convince and the people of Kenya on why the conversation this time around is not only on the economic model. The conversation in this election must also be on the debt crisis that our country is facing.
And we have a write-up, and my director is going to be pulling that up for us. And it is in regards to the interview you did in September last year, and this is what you said on the Jubilee government. We are going to be having that one shortly on air, because you have mentioned the debt, and at times you have painted a picture which is rosy of the first term of the Jubilee party between 2013 and 17. This is what you said. Deputy President Dr. Ruto and I regret a lot of things. There are many things we did out of loyalty to the president, but which we did not believe in. The DP and I were, for instance, forced to defend Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waigoro because of loyalty to the president. We were forced to even defend this government from the health ministry's scandals, defend the Eurobond fraud, the SGR, and you said I even fought Jimmy Wanjigi over the SGR. Now I regret all that. Why did you do this out of blind loyalty when you were served as the
No. There was no blind loyalty. The issue that you have raised, particularly on Anwar Guru, was that till today, there's no serious evidence, and the people before court, Anwar Guru is not one of them. And I think at that time, if you remember, the opposition team led by Honorable Raila Odinga, who later became the dry cleaning for the corrupt at Upper Hill, was calling a press conference saying that Governor Anwar Guru must take responsibility, and we were saying no, let the due process both in Parliament and in other investigative agencies take place, and that's what Anwar Guru herself was saying.
But you were to defend
on SGR,
okay.
And I think and Jimmy Wanjigi was that when Jimmy Wanjigi was going to court and was stopping the whole project of a flagship project of the Jubilee administration, which, if you ask me, the achievements of the Jubilee administration in the first term, when the president and the deputy president, all of us had a synergy and were working together, is what when we achieved. The second time of the Jubilee administration, I think what he achieved was just debts and chaos.
Okay, but when I look through sifting through the reports in Parliament, and this is according to a National Assembly report by the Committee on Environment and Natural Resources tabled in the House in October 2019. This was for the financial years 2016-17, 17-18. And the National Treasury, according to the report, released 120 billion to fund the construction of 8 mega dams across the country, none of which never came to see the light of day. And this includes 21 billion Aror Kemore Dam scandal. And of the 120 billion, mathematically that means 60 billion Kenya shillings got lost in 1 year, 5 billion every month mathematically, 1.7 billion every day, 70 million disappearing every single hour under the Jubilee government you served in the first term. You don't mention all this, Honorable, because the shoe is on the other foot. How would Kenyans who are watching you tonight?
I don't think that report is from the Departmental Committee on Environment, because the only report that can indict financial loss should be a report by the Auditor General. So I don't want to go into that report. That is a departmental committee that deals with operations of the ministries that fall within water and all that. I don't want to speak about Kimarer and Aror Dam. Up to today, the matter is in court. Up to today, nobody is telling you about how much money was lost. In fact, today I read it that the former CEO was dismissed.
Kimosop.
Yes. Got a court award for unfairly dismissal outside the law. So I want to be honest that just like the first government of Mr. Kenyatta, the government of President Moi, the government of President Kibaki, and the government of President Uhuru has its share of corruption scandals.
Including the first time you served as the Jubilee Party.
I am, up to now, I'm still serving as a member of Jubilee for Garissa Township.
But you seem to be
but maybe say as a leader of majority, which I left I served for 7.5 years. So every government has a share of corruption. Corruption is part of, if you ask me, part of the Kenyan system. And that's why the people who perpetuate corruption in this country are the corporates, are the big ones. Ask me, why are we giving money to Kenya Airways? Who are the owners of the Kenya Airways planes and the fleets? Why is Kenya Airways not posting profits like Ethiopian Airlines? I mean, you can't. Kenya Airways has become a hole that can never be filled. In all my life in Parliament, the last 10 years, last 15 years, every year we put money into Kenya Airways. So I think I agree with you, but in our second term, if you ask me, is when everything in Jubilee collapsed. Yes.
I'll hold you to, I'll carry you, because the president during the Mashujaa Day celebrations from Nguru Stadium in the county of Kirinyaga. The DP also said, Mr. President, look, I'll build up on what you have already set as a foundation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll talk about that, healthcare,
Absolutely,
manufacturing,
absolutely.
which are the 4 key critical pillars that the president outlined after his re-election in 2017. And when we come back from the break, we continue with the discussion here on the broadcast as we also take a look at the Political Parties Amendment Bill and also the proposal by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, ahead of the elections in August. Stay tuned.
Do you still pay for old content, then hassle to pay even more for new releases? Have you been paying for content that you don't even